Hello, and welcome to Sleepy Short Stories. I am your host, Ghost, and it's time to begin your sleep cycle with a nice short story. Let's begin. The Lanterns of Hollow Ridge. High in the northern mountain ranges, where fog clings to the cliffs like old ghosts, lay a mountain village few travelers ever found by accident. Hollow Ridge wasn't on any map, and perhaps that was for the best. The people there, they liked it that way. Quiet, isolated, and forgotten. Every autumn, when the first frost kissed the pine needles and the air smelled faintly of wood smoke, the villagers prepared for their greatest tradition, the Harvest Festival. For 3 nights, laughter filled the narrow streets, and hundreds of lanterns were hung from rooftops, fences, and trees, each one painted by hand and passed down through the generations. The light of those lanterns was said to keep away the things that prowled in the forest after dark. This year, the festival began as it always did, with music, dancing, and the smell of roasted apples. Children ran through the square wearing masks shaped like foxes and crows, and the old priests blessed the harvest in front of the ancient oak at the village's edge, a tree so old no one remembered when it had first taken root. But as night fell, an uneasy chill settled over the ridge. The wind came down from the mountains, sharp and restless, and the lantern flames wavered, guttering blue instead of gold. "Strange weather," said Thomas, the innkeeper, his brow furrowed as he adjusted the lantern outside his door. "Not weather," muttered old Mira, the village herbalist. "It's them. They're stirring again." The others only laughed. Mira was known for her stories, tales of the forest spirits, or of travelers led astray by ghostly lights. But that night, even the laughter sounded a little hollow. By the second night, people began to whisper what they had seen. Shapes at the tree line, standing too still to be human. Lanterns glowing faintly between the branches. And a pale figure watching from the path. At midnight, as the last song ended, Mira noticed her granddaughter, Leanna, was missing. They searched the village from end to end, calling her name until their voices cracked. The only thing they found was her small red lantern, lying at the forest edge, its light still flickering weakly. That was when the priest gathered the villagers in the square. His hands trembled as he held up a candle. "The old stories, they were not stories," he said. "The lanterns, they kept them away, but only if they burned through the night. Do not let your lights go out." The villagers dispersed, and they all went back to their homes. And everybody tended to their lanterns, and nobody slept that night. When dawn finally came, the mist was so thick it smothered the village in silence. The sun never broke through, and by evening, the fog had turned to smoke. That night, the villagers tried to keep their lanterns lit, but a sound came from the forest. Not footsteps, but a soft, rhythmic scraping, like wood dragging across stone. Then came the whispers, dozens of them, weaving through the cold air, murmuring in voices that almost sounded familiar. Leanna's mother ran to the tree line, crying out for her daughter, but she did not come back. One by one, the lanterns began to dim. The light faded from the square first, and then from the houses. Thomas, the innkeeper, said he saw faces inside the flames right before they went out. Faces of the villagers themselves, their mouths open in silent screams. When the last lantern went dark, Hollow Ridge was swallowed by the mist. They say no one survived that night. Travelers who found the village weeks later reported that every house stood empty, the food still on the tables, and the hearths cold. Lanterns still hung in the street, but the glass was blackened from within, as if something had burned backwards, almost as if light was being devoured by shadow. At the edge of the forest, they found the old oak tree split down the middle, and its heart hollowed out and charred from the inside. And as faint as a dying breath was the image of a small girl burnt into the splintered wood. To this day, when the fog rolls down the mountains, the locals swear they can see faint lights flickering in the trees. Some say it's just reflections from the valley below, but the ones who know the story say it's the restless souls of the villagers still trapped in their lanterns, searching for a way home. If you ever find yourself climbing up to Hollow Ridge on a cold autumn night and find a single lantern burning by the roadside, don't touch it. Don't follow it. It's not there to guide you. It's there to replace you. Thanks to everyone who listened to this short story. This was my first attempt, so feedback would be really appreciated. If you're already drifting off to sleep, please don't open your eyes. If you are still awake, please leave a like or subscribe. It would mean the world. You have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams.